Hey, shalom, shalom, welcome back. I want to begin this lesson by giving all the praise, honor and glory into Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakah, Kadash, and the Bahana to the elder and the apostles of the Mason who do well. A peace, blessing, and salutation to you who are pushing this through the four winds of the heaven, be on the forefront of this spiritual war, and to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise here on yes again. So this is second Ezra 16 and verse 13. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows, that's the point, his arrows going to the nuclear missiles that he shooteth are sharp. You see, he's a sharp arrow, man. You see, going to the intercontinental ballistic missile, man, or some nuclear weapon. It say that it say, and they shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the end of the world, and we are approaching that time as a build up to the destruction of Missi Babylon, which is America. Behold, the plague are sent, and shall not return until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out until it consumes the foundation of the earth. That's going to the ruling class of this earth, man. Verse 16 say, like an arrow, which is short of a mighty archer, return not backward. You see. So there won't be any miscalculation with the missiles, man. You see, even so, the plague that shall be sent upon the earth cannot return again. So, amen, I have news here concerning the algorithm of WW3. You see, which always comes through the spirit of Yahweh. I have the first news. It was 4 hours ago. It say ICC, in which it is over there in Afghanistan. You see, the American army created another boogeyman to fight the Taliban. You say, unable to sit in area, Taliban man are stronger. See, I have another news which I really wanted to bring. It's a Iranian missile launched in Syria target Israeli warplane. So, and the Iranian men have created what to call air-to-surface missile defense system. They have their own Iron Dome, and I think, me thinking that the man, they haven't really said anything about it, but I think the Russians have helped the Iranian to build a missile defense system. You see. Just like the American helped the state of Israel to build a missile defense system, the Russians are helping the Iranian. So let me open this really quickly.
Iranian missile launched in Syria targets Israeli warplane. Israeli authorities on Tuesday permitted the publishing of news on an Iran-made missile targeting an Israeli plane that was missioned to attack several locations in Syria. An Israeli general commented that this missile appeared to be more advanced than the arsenal of missiles in the possession of the Syrian regime's army. Nevertheless, it did not hit its target. Israeli officials pointed out that Iran is actively working to improve air defenses in locations where, according to foreign media, the Israeli Air Force has been carrying.
You see, the Kamanian men are working, they are not sleeping, man. To make sure that they improve, you see, their game, they up their game, so to speak. That easy prophecy from the book of WW3. It says, there is a scripture here. WW3 and 10 say, beat your pressure into sword and your pruning hook into spear. That simply means, man, right now it's time for war. Every resource, every idea is directed to the destruction of the enemy of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, and he will use this as a nation. For example, Iran, that is the weak say I'm strong. That's what is going on. That's what you see here. So you have another news. It say 13 service member dead in the Kabul airport bombing for congressional gold medal. This is a US 13 service member got put to death. Another news is say breaking Israeli soldier detail leaked into suspected Iranian hack. And the Iranians are very good into this, man. It's a hacking issue. See, and they have a lot of military intelligence from the Israeli soldiers and everything, man. So what you see won't be only about some nuclear missiles, in which that will be the main part of it, but it will be biological warfare. It will be a cyber warfare, man. So some people will get hit with blackness every now and then. That's where the Lord will send strange apparition your way, and that's another lesson for another time. You see. And there was a breaking news which say breaking cyber attack hit Iranian gas station. So it is cyber attack after cyber attack. Say breaking news: Israel prepare plan to strike Iran nuclear plant. See, let me open this one.
Israel prepares plans to
This is declaring war. You're declaring war indirectly.
strike Iran's nuclear plants. Israel is preparing plans to strike Iran's nuclear plants should negotiations and diplomatic efforts to revive the 2015 nuclear deal fail, Israeli public broadcaster Kan reported yesterday. According to Anadolu, Kan reported that the Israeli government asked the security agencies to prepare the plan in order to be ready if the nuclear talks with Iran fail. Kan also reported that Israeli intelligence believes Iran had been trying to place ground-to-air missiles in Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq in order to intercept potential Israeli airstrikes. Israel, which is against the revival of the 2015 nuclear deal with Iran, has been in intensive discussions with the U.S. over the nuclear file. Meanwhile, the Times of Israel reported that the Israeli Air Force will begin practicing for a strike on Iran's.
That is the news. We have another news which say Israel fear Iran attempting to boost air defense of Syria. See, as I told you, Iran is building their own Iron Dome, like the Israeli. She says Israeli. She say UAE send signal to Iran during Israeli Air Force drill. See. That's the United Arab Emirates. See. You say Wafia Iran aerial defense lay on Israeli border. See, that's the Iron Dome over there. He say Iran to shoot down Israeli jet. Iran fired at Israeli weapon in Syria. That's what was going on, man. See, this was the news here. Iran prepared to strike. Israel prepared to plan to strike Iran. And the Iranians, they responded by shooting a fighter jet. So, man, that's what you see for you, man. You see, that's what you see very, very, very soon to come. You see, and if you think that it is 50 years to come, you better think again. But this really was my main focus. Second Ezra 15 started verse 28. It says, Behold the horrible vision, and the appearance is thereof from the east. All this horrible vision, man, what do you see? So where the nation of the dragon of Arabia shall come out with many chariot, and the multitude of them shall be carried as a wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. That's Ishmael there, man. Ishmael will be a main player in the region, yes. It's also the Kamanian, in which the Kamanian will be backing the Kamanian, which as the Iranian will be backing the Arabian. He said, raging wrath shall go forth as a wind blow of the woody, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of Assyria. And then shall the dragon have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Then these shall be troubled, bred and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of Assyria shall the enemy besiege them, so it will be a Turkey. The American, which is Assyria, or Babylon the Great, or Mystery Babylon, they will be invaded both abroad and in the homeland, and consume some of them, when their host shall be fear and dread and strife among the king. Behold, the crowd from the east is any many prayer like China, Russia, and Japan, they will join, especially North Korea, and from the north, this is also going to the Arctic. The north part of this is really the Arctic, and some part of Europe, man. And Russia also can be considered to be the northern part, man, onto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of rush and storm. they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and the blood shall be from the sword into the belly. That's going to a lot of slaughtering, man. It's a lot of slaughtering. So let me get let me see. One shade of man. I know it is in Revelation. Let me pull you one Revelation here. Revelation. Not really. Let me do it like this. Revelation 9, yes, so Revelation 9:18 say, by this a city was a shed part of many killed by the fire, by the smoke, by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouth. For their power is their mouth, and their tail were like unto a serpent. That's the point, mark that point, for their tail were like unto serpent, and had head, and with them they do hurt. So the tail like a serpent, that's going to the rocket propeller, which will take the missile from the missile sail to what you call atmosphere through a re-entry vehicle. Sometimes the missile referred to a serpent, flying serpent, fiery flying serpent, or hail mingled with fire. So by that, a said part of men will be killed. So let me prove serpent. Let me write serpent root. I know it is in Isaiah 13. It is 14. Salake, Isaiah 14. You see, the 29 say, rejoice not Israel whole Palestina, because the Lord of him that smote is broken. That's going to the Israelite. He says, for out of the serpent root, that's going to the rocket prepare, which holds the head of the missile, and a give is act like a booster. It's like how you fire a rocket into space. The rocket propeller is a booster. That's why it's called a propeller. For out of the serpent root shall come forth a cockatrice. Out of the serpent root shall come forth a cockatrice. That's what is going to what you call the head of the missile. It's a multiple head. Just going to multiple head. It's like why when a serpent, if you've ever seen a serpent, I don't think you people in the West, if you have seen a serpent in real life, like what you call a black mamba. The black mamba is very dangerous, because when you meet eye to eye with a black mamba, what come out of his mouth is that hot saliva, and that saliva can paralyze your face, man. When that saliva reach your face can paralyze. It's like you have Bell's pass. It's like your nerve is paralyzed on one side. It's like you have stroke. See. So that saliva, it come and it from the serpent mouth to your face direct. You can even go blind. Some serpent are able to make you blind. So a lot of saliva come out of his mouth. That's also symbolic for the multiple head, which will be coming out of that rocket propeller, and going back to the serpent root, and his fruit shall be a fiery fly serpent. That's going to the nuclear missile. So that being said, I want to bring Amos, my favorite chapter, man. Amos 5, I think it is 19 or whatever. He says, as if a man did free from a lion, a bear met him, and he went into a house. That's going to Jacob trouble, famine, and whatever. And when you escape all of that, man, and they went into a house, and you think it is over. For you people who think that we are going to bounce back from civil war, from trouble, from everything. And so you are going to in the house, and they say, then all of a sudden, you see, and I didn't his hand during the war, took a break and said it is over now. And then a serpent, it beat him. It's going to the missile, man. The missile will fly, man, after Jacob trouble. Right when is that is the climax of Jacob trouble, man. The missile will fly. See, that will be the source, man. So amen. With this I say shalom. I hope you brothers are edified. On to the next thing.